channel for your Monday night. Well, it is May 27 and we are here to talk about State of Origin. We are 9 nights away from New South Wales going up against Queensland at Accor Stadium. There will be blood, there will be sweat, there will be tears, there will be hopefully at least 1 or 2 fights. I don't want to see no little push and shove bullshit. Let them have at it. State of Origin 1, man. The teams are announced. We're going to go over it. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you my 10 cents on who I think should and shouldn't be there. But hope you guys are all doing well tonight. If you're new around here, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you press the thumbs up button as you're watching this. I would really appreciate it. Hello to the chat. Hello to Jason, Josh, SS Stormfan, William Pearson. Yes, I am live streaming off my mobile phone. My laptop was just being slow, so I didn't want to keep delaying it. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it on my phone tonight. Fuck it. Just going to do it like that. But yeah, it's good to be on, obviously. I haven't really posted many videos over the last couple of days. I was up in Townsville on Thursday. My birthday was on Friday. Went to the Cowboys versus Tigers game. Had an absolute ball up there in Townsville. Flew back Saturday. Was absolutely buggered. Didn't watch all the Super Saturday, but I saw most of it. I saw bits of it anyway. I watched the whole South Para game. Got the vlog out yesterday morning. Hope you guys enjoyed the Cowboys-Tigers vlog. If you haven't, make sure you go and check that out. It's one of my favourite ones I've put out, I reckon. And now we're here to talk about State of Origin. My round 13 tips will be tomorrow night. And yes, I am locked in to be attending the Roosters versus Cowboys game Sunday at Allianz Stadium. Should be a good time. Hello to everyone else that's in the chat. Daniel Sexton, Luke Melbourne Storm fan. Everyone that's here now. CJ Moxley. SS Storm fans has now been a member for 16 months. Thank you very much, SS Storm fan. Your loyalty is greatly appreciated here. Alright, we're going to go over the Origin teams now. I'm going to give you guys my 50 cents on this. Some of it I like, some of it I don't like. If you saw my Instagram story last night, you would have saw that I read some good, some bad, and my opinion hasn't changed. So I'll go through the team. I'll go through the New South Wales team first. We'll get to Queensland later on. I just want to give you my opinion on the Blues team and what I like and don't like. So first, we'll go through it and then give you my thoughts after it. So fullback is Dylan Edwards on debut. On the wings, we got Brian To'o and another guy on debut, Zach Lomax. Centers are Stephen Crichton, another guy on debut, Joseph Suoli'i. Luai and Hines are the halves pairing. Jake Boyovich is the front row and the captain, alongside Payne Haas. Reece Robson at hooker. The back row of Liam Martin, Angus Crichton. And at lock forward on debut, Cameron McInnes. And the bench, Isaiah Yeo, Hudson Young. On debut, Hamoli Olakawatu. And also on debut is Spencer Lenu. 18th man is Matt Burton. And the two reserves are Luke Keary and Mitchell Barnett. Okay, so I'll start with the fullback, obviously. Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards. You know what? A lot of people are upset that Tedesco's was dropped. Lost the captaincy, all that situation. I have no problem with Dylan Edwards as the Blues fullback. Absolutely no problem at all. I think Tedesco has been a great servant for New South Wales, and there comes a time and place where it's time to move on to the next up-and-coming guy, and that is Dylan Edwards. It's like a job. You could be in the same position at your job for 5-6 years, but then eventually you're going to get moved on to a different role or a different department overall, and it's time to move on. And Dylan Edwards as the fullback, I do not have a single problem with it. I think he'll do the state proud. And as Pro Enzo Vids is saying in the live chat, shout out to Pro Enzo Vids, I think Dylan Edwards is the right call. I think he'll do a great job. But Tedesco could be back game 2 if Edwards doesn't play well. There's no denying that. That could happen. Now, Toto picks himself. No, don't even need to get into it. Best winger in the game. He's there. Zach Lomax. I love it. I've been calling for it for a few weeks now. I said Zach Lomax should be in the Blues team. Just because he had one bad game against the Bulldogs on Thursday night doesn't mean that Lomax should miss Origin. One bad game doesn't mean you drop a player. I think Lomax has earned his spot throughout the year. We've seen him kick 2-point field goals for the Dragons. We've seen him score spectacular tries for the Dragons. The Dragons are a very up and down side. And I think Lomax has done well to earn his spot. I think he deserves it. So I'm glad Lomax is in the team. I think he deserves it. As for the centres, Crichton and Suoli'i. Now, Stephen Crichton, a bit like Brian Toto, picks himself. Stephen Crichton was always going to be there. Can't deny that. Crichton's the best centre in the game, and he may not be the best centre on form, but overall, if I'm ranking NRL centres, Stephen Crichton's in my top 2. So Crichton has to be there, a bit like Brian Toto. I picked themselves. Now, Joseph Suoli'i. I have a small issue with this one. I don't like it at all. If you're going to pick Joseph Suoli'i for New South Wales, you're better off having him on the wing. I don't think Suoli'i is the best centre for the job. Like, he's going to be playing on the left edge, which he does at Clubland. And I just think you could have easily put Stephen Crichton on the left edge with Brian Toto, and you could have had someone like a Jesse Ramian go in there, who's probably been in better form than Suoli'i. Or you could have done the other route, which I thought they were going to do. They could have had Crichton go to the right, and they could have had Matt Burton play left centre. I don't agree with the Joseph Suoli'i decision. Yes, of course he's going to rugby union next year, but you're picking the team on what's going to get it done, and I don't think Joseph Suoli'i is going to get it done. Suoli'i is up against Valentine Holmes, and Valentine Holmes is a world-class superstar centre. I don't think Suoli'i is anywhere near the level of a Valentine Holmes, so I don't like the Suoli'i one, man. I would have had Matt Burton go there, or I would have had Jesse Ramian, who's a really big body. Ramian would trouble Val Holmes. No denying that. So, don't agree with the Suoli'i one, but we'll see how he goes on game day. But yeah, probably I wouldn't have went that way. Now, Luai and Hines. I mean, what other choice do you got? Cleary's injured. Moses is injured. Everyone's injured, so you have no choice. You literally have no choice. Luai and Hines, you have to do it. There's no other option. And if Nico happens to fail the fitness test, then you go Luai to 7, Burton to 6, even Luke Keary. Now, Luke Keary, I'll get to Luke Keary very soon, but yeah, Luai and Hines, there's no other option. Like, everyone's injured, but we'll see how it goes. Now, the forwards, I don't have much of a problem with the forwards. I think the forwards are pretty much picked themselves. Jake Trbojevic starting front row and captain, probably the best decision that Madge made. I love this call, man. Jake Trbojevic, he cares, he's passionate, he will bleed for the jersey, he's a workhorse, great defender. Jake Trbojevic is the right call. And I think him being captain is a great decision as well. I like Payne Haas, obviously, in the front row. No issue with that. No issue with that whatsoever. Now, Reece Robson at hooker. Interesting decision. Very interesting decision. Me personally, I think Api Coruscant should be in the team. Now, obviously, I'm a Cowboys supporter, and I am going to back Reece Robson to do a job, and I think he'll be good. I think he'll be fine. But Robson's more of a defensive type hooker. Like, sure, he can play the whole 80 minutes and he'll do a great job. Don't get me wrong, but Coruscant just adds that bit of unpredictability from dummy half, and he adds a lot of spark to the team. So maybe I would have had Robson at 9 for 20, 25 minutes and bring Coruscant on and just let him do his thing. So I'm a little bit unsure on Robson starting at hooker, but hey, hopefully it goes well for New South Wales. Hopefully it goes well. It's going to be quite interesting to see how Robbo does go, but I feel like Coruscant should be in the 17. It's a bit crazy that he's been snobbed. It's a bit crazy. Now the back row, Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, not a problem. Liam Martin is obviously the incumbent, and he won't let you down. I know Liam Martin's form has been a bit up and down so far. She hasn't been as good as previous years, but Liam Martin is a typical Origin player. He will rip in. He will put a lot of pressure on Cherry Evans and Munster and all that. I think Liam Martin will be good. I'll get to the donations very soon, York. Don't worry about it. Lock forward, Cameron McInnes. Really interesting. I have been calling for McInnes since, like, last year, I think. McInnes deserves his spot, man. He's been busting his ass off at Cronulla. They're top of the table in the NRL. And I don't have a single issue with McInnes in the team. I'm surprised that he's starting. I thought maybe come off the bench and go start at 13, and they could still do that on game day. But McInnes has earned the right to make the team. He has earned the right. And I think he deserves to be there. So, good on McInnes. And the bench. Obviously, Yo on the bench. From what I think the way things are going to go, I think Isaiah Yo is going to come on and play like a front row type role. A bit like Jake Trbojevic, like he'll come on, he'll be in the middle, he'll do a bit of ball playing. He'll also run probably for about 130 metres, roughly off the bench. That's what they'll be looking for. So Yo in the front row, it's quite interesting, but I probably would have started him personally. Ola Kawatu. Now, I probably think Ola Kawatu would have been more suited to starting, but I understand it coming off the bench. I don't know, man. Maybe Liam Martin will move into the front row and Ola Kawatu will go to the second row. I think that's what they might do because Angus will be on the left, Martin on the right. Maybe Martin goes into the front row around the 30th minute and Hamoli comes on and plays right edge back row with Nico. So, not bad. I think Hamoli would be better off starting, though. Spencer Lenu. Why? Why is Spencer in the team? This is probably the one I had the biggest problem with. You have Spencer Lenu at the start of the year, go to Vegas, get involved in a racial slur problem with Ezra Mam, get suspended, comes back in round 10 he came back? He's played like 2, 3, 4 games. He's played like 2 or 3 games. And he's in the fucking team? Why? Why is he there? And it's not like at the Roosters, Spencer Lenu's playing big minutes. Lenu's playing like 40 minutes a game. If we happen to lose a Payne Haas early on, or if we happen to lose a Jake Trbojevic, and we need a front rower to play big minutes, Spencer Lenu is not that guy. Lenu's not going to be able to play more than 50 minutes in this Origin game. He's not going to be able to. If he does, he's going to be tired and he's going to be done. I don't like the Lenu decision at all. I would have had someone that's actually in better form, like a Jacob Saifidi, who's been there and done it. Now, I've been shitting on Newcastle pretty much all year because I've been waiting for them to drop off, but they just seem to keep winning. Jacob Saifidi's form has been very good, and I think with him being a former New South Welshman, I would have preferred Jacob Saifidi on the bench. If you're going to go the Spencer Lenu way, then, Junior Paulo should have got a mention, or Campbell Gillard, or someone that's actually been playing. Mitchell Barnett, I know. That's another one that's in the reserves that probably should be there over Lenu. It's weird. Want a prop on the bench as well. I'm not the biggest fan of that. And the last player on the bench is Hudson Young. Hudson Young, you can't deny his form. You can't deny his form. He's scoring tries. He won the game for Canberra twice this year against Manly and the Bulldogs in recent weeks. He's playing really well. He's very unpredictable. Hudson Young could probably play in the centres if there was an injury or whatnot, but we probably had too many back rowers as it is. Why do we have 4 back rowers in the 17? We didn't have a front row. This is why I would have had Barnett. Now, Burton 18th man, no problem with that. No problem at all. Barnett, I think Barnett's a well-deserved pick. I think Barnett's done a really good job this year at the Warriors. So Barnett's probably one where I'm fine with it. And then you got Luke Keary. Luke Keary. Now, don't get me wrong. Luke Keary is retiring at the end of the season. And he's been up and down all year. Why is he anywhere near this team? Oh, the excuse was, it's just for cover, case of injury. Wouldn't Matt Burton be your next choice? Wouldn't Matt Burton be the next guy up? Why is Keary even in the reserves? I would have preferred Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks' form has been average for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I would have probably preferred Luke Brooks than Luke Keary. Or even someone else. But, yeah, Luke Keary is a weird one for me. I probably wouldn't have done that. I don't think Luke Keary should be anywhere near the team. But anyway, overall, I think Madge has done some good and he's done some bad. I think the back line's really good. I just don't like Suoliti there. Halves are fine. Got no problem with the forward pack. Probably would have had Coruscant on the bench and Robson maybe starting, Robson's starting, but would have had Appy on the bench maybe. Maybe I would have had Hamoli at back row with Liam Martin on the bench. Yo should be 13. McInnes on the bench. It's interesting. Lenu, yeah, so I'm not trying to be anti-Roosters here, but I just don't understand why Suoliti, Lenu and Keary are anywhere near the team. I don't understand that. The Suoliti stuff is crazy. He's very overhyped. Overall, I'll probably give it a... if I was giving the Blues a team out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7. There are some good and there are some bad. So, see how it goes. Probably... I think they could... I think New South Wales could have done better with the team. Overall. Now, Queensland. Not that I really give a shit about Queensland's team, but we'll go over it. So, obviously, they got Walsh at fullback, Coates and Talangi on the wings, Val Holmes and Hammer in the centres, Dearden at 5'8", Cherry M's at halfback, Cotter and Collins in the front row, Hunt at 9, Sewer in the back row with Jeremiah Nanai, Carrigan at lock, and the bench is Grant, Fodawaker, Hopgood on debut, and Selwyn Cobbo on the bench, which is very bizarre. And in the reserves, I got Felice Kafusi, Ezra Mam, and Brendan Piakure in the reserves for the very first time. I'm a little bit surprised that Piakure is in there. Now, the first thing I want to say about Queensland is dropping David Fifita is a very, very big call. I know Fifita can be hit and miss at times, but I would have had Fifita in this team for sure. So, Queensland's backline, it pretty much picks itself. I mean, Walsh is a no-brainer. Xavier Coates has to be there. His form has been phenomenal. Val Holmes. A lot of people were saying that Val Holmes could be in a bit of doubt for Origin. They might not pick him on form, but Val Holmes has done a great job for Queensland over the last couple of years, so they're not going to drop him just because of a couple of average games. So I think Val proved on the weekend against the Tigers that he needs to be in the team. He's too good not to be there. Hammer at the other centre. Murray Talangi. Now, I'm a big Murray Talangi fan. I love him to death at the Cowboys. I am very surprised he got picked. He was out for like 5 weeks with an injury. Come back. Had a game against South, and then he played in the weekend. He looked a bit sore. I didn't think he was going to play. So, good on Talangi for getting picked. And obviously, I think he'll do a great job for Queensland, but a little bit surprised that he got selected. Dearden at 6. We all knew that was going to happen once Munster got injured. Cherry Evans at halfback. Picks himself, doesn't he? Now, the forward pack. Cotter and Collins, again, pick themselves. Just very, very elite forwards, and they're going to be very hard to contain. Ben Hunt will start at 9, Grant at 14. That's nothing surprising there. Nothing surprising about that one. What have we got here? The back row. Now, the back row is quite scary. Jaden Sewer, who has been in very good form at the Dragons. He deserves his spot, 100%. Jeremiah Nanai, who I would make a case for as the form back row of the competition. Nanai is in phenomenal form. He has to be there. He's on fire at the moment. And then you got Paddy Carrigan at lock forward. That's, again, it's a no-brainer. Queensland's team is probably easier to pick than New South Wales. And then the bench, Grant. Fodawaker. Now, I said about 2 months ago that Mo Fodawaker is probably the most underrated player in the NRL. Most underrated forward anyway. And then he had a couple of games there where I'm like, what is Fodawaker doing? He had a couple of games there where he was really quiet, and then Fodawaker's form the last 2 or 3 weeks is definitely picked up, so he deserves to be there for me. Hopgood, I think Hopgood's actually very lucky to be there too, because Parramatta's form has been all over the place, and Hopgood's been trying hard, so I think Billy Slater can see that Hopgood's form's been a bit, he's been alright in a struggling side. And then you got Selwyn Cobbo on the bench. That is the weirdest one of them all, I think. Weird one there. Hello to Josh in the chat as well. Hope you're well, mate. Good to see you in the chat. And hello to everyone that's arriving as well. Hello to Riley, Hosea, and everyone that's here now. Bosky, Will. Hope you guys are doing good. Selwyn Cobbo on the bench. Strange decision. There's got to be... Billy Slater is definitely thinking outside the box with this one. Like, is Cobbo going to come on and play a bit of lock forward and go through the middle, put on a fend or two, and be dangerous? Is that what they want Cobbo to do? Because, like I've been saying, like I said just before, like, Murray Talangi was out for 5 or 6 weeks with an injury to his foot or a leg or something. He came back. He's been good the last couple of weeks, but I'm surprised they actually went that way. Like, I thought Coates was going to be on the wing with Cobbo or whatever, and they're going to leave Talangi out in general. I honestly thought they were going to do that, but you know what? I'm not going to question Billy Slater. They've won the last 3 Origin series in a row. You can't really question it. Billy Slater knows what he's doing. Until Billy Slater loses a series, then that's when you can start to really criticise him. Now, leaving out David Fifito is a surprise. A bit like what Bosky says in the chat. It is bizarre. Very bizarre, man. I did not expect to see David Fifito drop from the team. I think Fifito can add a lot, man. Like, he brings a lot of... I know he can be lazy and his defence can be a bit whatever, but Fifito brings X factor, and putting Fifito with quality players like Cherry Evans, your Deardens, your Reece Walshes, who can hit Fifito through short gaps and whatever. Oh, I'm surprised he's not there. That's probably my surprise. Besides Cobbo on the bench and Fifito being dropped, very surprised. Very surprised. Kafusi at 18th man, that is surprising too. Kafusi's probably just there because Liam Martin for New South Wales, form-wise, he doesn't have to be going great, but Kafusi's just that dog. He's going to go out there and just going to put a couple of big hits on. He might run for 20 metres the whole game, but his job will just be defence, kick pressure. Kafusi's a real dog, man. Brendan Piakure. Now, Queensland do tend to do this a lot. They tend to pick a player that's young, coming through, and put him in the reserves. Brendan Piacora. Now, the kid's got talent, and he's going to be a very good player. I just wonder if it's too soon to have Piacora in the reserves. I just wonder. We'll see. And Ezra Mam, obviously, he's there in case something happens to Dearden or Cherry Evans through Origin camp. You know, Queensland, they love to put a fake sickness through the Origin camp. Oh, this player's got the flu, they're in doubt for the game, blah, blah, blah. They do it every single year. And then New South Wales will come out and say, oh, Hines has got a tight calf, but he'll be good to play. He's in doubt, but he'll play. I'm just waiting for it. It's going to happen during the week sometime, maybe over the weekend. Someone's going to have a fake injury, and yeah, it happens every year. So I wonder who will do it first. Queensland usually do it first, so we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll say, oh, Reece Walsh is in doubt, but we'll see what they do. But look, I am a New South Welshman. I do go for the Cowboys in the NRL. That's because I was born in New South Wales and I fell in love with the Cowboys as a young fella. But I'm going to be completely honest here. And look, I'm not going to be biased here. I'm going to be honest as I can. And Queensland have the better team. They do. You can deny it. You can hate on it all you want. Obviously, I hope New South Wales win, and I'll be backing them, and I'll be tipping them, and I'll be cheering for them and all that. But on paper, looking at it on paper, Queensland have the better team on paper. But we'll see what happens in 9 nights. Queensland are better on paper, but paper doesn't mean shit. When the players get out there next Wednesday night, they're going to bash the living shit out of each other, and whichever team handles the occasion the best will win the game. So, we'll see. Go New South Wales, but I can't deny the fact that Queensland do have the better side on paper. But that's my thoughts on the sides overall. I'll probably give Queensland probably like an 8, 9 out of 10. Very good team. New South Wales probably a 7. There's a few things for New South Wales that I don't like. There's at least 3 or 4 things I don't like about the Blues. Queensland, I mean, I don't like them at all, but Fafita being dropped, I don't get it. I really don't, and I don't understand why Cobo's on the bench. But hey, so we'll see what happens on game day next Wednesday night. Guys, that's going to wrap things up from me. That's my thoughts and my opinion on both Origin sides. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and a subscribe to the channel. I will be live tomorrow night for the round 13 tips. And yes, I will be at the Roosters versus Cowboys game Sunday afternoon at Allianz Stadium in Sydney, cheering on the Cowboys and hopefully making it 3 in a row. Looking forward to getting down to the new Allianz Stadium. The Cowboys play there for the first time, and hopefully we get a win, and it's going to be a good time. There will be a vlog. I'll be starting the Cowboys chant, probably losing my voice as always. Should be a lot of fun. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a fantastic Monday night. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the tips.